Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast, episode 107. Now, this is the third one that we're doing today, so I think it's 107. It's going to be like a quick fire Q&A with Sania. Quick fire with Sania kind of works, like quick fire with Kez.
Yeah,
kind of works.
Kind of works.
Yeah, it works with everybody.
Yeah.
I'll find a way to make it work. So yeah, we're going to try and keep this one in about half an hour, and we're just going to smash through questions. So thank you to everybody that asked questions. We have got quite a few. Obviously, a fair few of them are about like Reese and Sania in terms of managing relationship, things like that. Go back and watch or listen to, go on Spotify, the last episode, which is like a full interview with Sania. Also, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe, bottom right corner. Make sure you like the video, and if you're listening on Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating and give us a follow on Spotify as well. So, quick fire. Order is 1, 2, 3.
I've only got
Let's
6
go.
questions.
Well, it's all right.
I've
When
got
you're out,
loads,
you're out.
yeah.
Once you're in, you're in.
You like that one? I can see you looking.
I was
at it.
like, please give me some.
Yeah, give me some credit for that. Whatever.
What's your ultimate dream date? Was one of them.
Dream date.
Dream date.
What, as in another female compared to Shannon, or?
No, I feel like an actual date. Like
Oh, with you.
I had so many options.
So many options before. Now, not many. Oh God.
Anything where you just...
not there.
Cinema, because we don't have to talk.
Dream date.
Thanks, guys.
Dream date, I'd probably say something like, I like doing stuff, so something like going somewhere abroad that's like a really picturesque place, and maybe going on a walk and then having like food somewhere really picturesque, just us.
CN Tower. That was a very nice night. What we did.
It's like a dream date though, like
No, but like that was a real good
there's better
experience.
things to do.
The
Like,
view was
Yeah, like the
stunning.
experience, the walk, like when you go through the turnstile, like the whole process of getting in,
Yeah,
like
that
the
was
elevator,
quite cool.
like that was a cool experience.
I'd hate that.
Yeah, you'd be scared of heights, wouldn't you? Yeah.
I feel like dream for me would literally be anything where it's quite intimate. Like, for example, okay, not in that way.
Just shagging.
No,
Just constantly. Yeah,
just wait for my test to
constantly.
go back up. God. All right, Sania.
Quite
Can't wait any
intimate.
longer.
So what do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, so for example, whilst we were in prep, like, it was really lovely. We went on a really nice walk. We had a picnic and just watched
Yeah, that did
really
look
nice
nice.
TV. And it was just, I think it's more of the wholesome part and actually spending quality time. that
Yeah, I think it's like a whole thing in it. Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking like, if me and Shannon were to go on like a nice date, it'd be like we actually like walk somewhere. So like you're doing something on the day.
Yeah.
You maybe have like a activity that you're doing, and then you're having a meal or something. It's like a
Yeah.
full day
You
kind
know
of thing.
what we did on my birthday? That was probably one of my favourite days. We went for a walk in Norfolk.
Yeah.
Yeah, went for a walk in Norfolk by the beach. We had a long walk because I know you were
Oh
complaining.
my god, I hate it.
But then we headed back. I think we chilled for like an hour or so. Like
You played a bit of FIFA, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, and then you looked up. I thought you were going to laugh at me saying I played a bit of FIFA. It was my birthday, mate. Let me play a game of FIFA, please. No, and then we got changed.
Yeah.
And then we went and had that. That Stubby's pizza.
Oh yeah.
And then we had
yeah.
a walk afterwards. We took Bear for a walk. And it was
Yeah.
like that was like a real
It's just
I remember
wholesome, isn't
getting
it?
to the end of the day and I was like, that's a lovely day.
They're the days and the things that you appreciate when you're like busy and working and you
Yeah.
don't get that much time together.
Just days where you can breathe and actually appreciate the
Yeah.
person you're with.
Right, this is not quick fire in the slightest, so I'm going to move it on.
Okay.
How do you approach the magical peak week, carb, sodium, water, fatigue, etc.? We'll answer that on another podcast.
Yeah.
Me and Reese will answer some of these next week when
I
we
also
do like a
got
proper
asked,
one.
like, when filling up for a show, what feedback do you look for? Purely visual.
Yeah,
body
so
weight
we're just
changes,
going to do ones that like almost involve all of us,
Yeah.
and then next week, thank you for the
Right.
questions. We'll get back to. I'm gonna do a proper one now.
Okay.
Okay. So how do Reese and Sania feel they handled their preps to their last preps? So that's from Macca Morris.
Oh,
So we
completely.
kind of covered that
Yeah.
in the main episode, but go on.
Yeah, this prep was such a breeze in comparison.
better.
We kept date nights in the sense of like we did something not every time we saw each other.
Most of the time though,
Yeah,
whether it was a walk, whether it was cinema, going to watch Liverpool play, which was fucking amazing.
Yeah, like we went bowling.
Sorry.
Yeah, we did mini golf. We went to Manchester, after the show. Like we did things that like involved everything other than food that you would usually do, because you realise, you can still do stuff without, and we just prep food. We went for a picnic and we did stuff, and I'm not saying that's like, you have to do that, But
Definitely
it's
helped
very
us.
important to kind of keep that routine of, like, if you usually do something when you see each other, or you don't even have to. Like, we had a few movie nights. Like, we kept ourselves doing what we were doing, and we weren't just like bodybuilding 24/7. Oh, got to do this, got to do that. Oh, got to be up for my cardio. We went to do cardio together. We did that in the mornings when I was at yours, and I enjoyed that. Like, I enjoyed the walk to Pure Gym and all that sort of stuff. We actually trained together for Fridays, towards the latter end.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kept doing stuff that wasn't just sitting around thinking about when's your next meal.
How do you think we
And-
handled this prep in comparison? Because you're obviously still very much involved, more so this time, but involved with both sides of our preps.
I think it was sound. I think you were just both a bit soft, so you obviously didn't struggle. You both struggled when you had 10 days to actually get lean.
There we go.
That was when it was hard, and then did you not speak to each other?
No,
it was sound.
we were fine.
Spoke to each other probably more.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably more, yeah. Because Reese was like, I'm
Really
dying. I was like, oh no, what's going on?
Yeah.
He was like, I'm on bed, naked,
Come over.
shivering.
Yeah.
No, I wish.
All right,
no
next
chance.
one.
Right. Okay. So, best advice first time being on stage. We'll ask you this tonight because we've answered this enough.
Like, as cringy as it sounds, literally just take a breathe and enjoy it. Like, take a breather, enjoy it, and just try not to stress out about it, because it just goes so quick that you just won't even know it's happened once you've got off stage, and you would have gone all of that work for what?
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go? I'll go.
You go,
Did
yeah.
Sania always know Reese was on the sauce? So basically, on
Did I
drugs.
lie to you?
Yeah.
And was it ever a difficult convo?
No, never a different.
Just honest.
Never difficult. I feel like for me, like, I kind of understood that was always going to be like a natural evolution.
It's not natural.
What it was. Not a natural evolution. No,
Can we-
you're right.
Can I carry on? Is Sania natural?
Yeah, that was my next question as well.
Yeah,
Follow
double.
up to that.
Is
Is
Sania
Sania
natural?
100% Nai?
I am not natural. No.
Do you
Why
take
aren't you
Clen?
bigger then?
Do you take Clen?
I don't know.
Is it just Clen? Is it?
Clen's
yeah, I'm natural, but I'm on Clen. I'm natural, but I'm on Clen.
Is that natural?
Is that
That's
natural? Yeah, I'm natural,
I
but
feel like a lot of women say that. Like, they say that they're just.
Oh, you just got
Okay.
to specify.
So tell us.
I'm not
what
going to
have you taken?
specify what I've taken, but I'm not natural.
You know.
What's wrong? Why would you not specify?
Because I don't feel like it's my place, and I don't feel
It's
like.
your body. You're putting into your body.
All right, Finn. Fucking hell.
Let's put.
I do
let's
think
say a
though,
disclaimer.
if you can't talk about it.
No, it's more so.
probably
I
shouldn't do
don't. I don't want people to.
No, let's just say a
We're
disclaimer.
not telling you what to do.
Sania is coached by Tom,
Yeah.
Evolution Training.
Sania is not a doctor,
Sania is not a
so
doctor.
he's not recommending that you do this.
No, and Sania has taken performance enhancing drugs.
I have.
Granted, for a very brief period of time, for very minimum. Like, I
Sounds
think
like a AA meeting.
No. For
You're
for
okay.
what I've seen others, it's marginal. Like,
Yeah, the main thing for me was that I knew that I never wanted to compete in a natural federation. Just didn't speak to me. I wasn't interested in it at all. And I wanted to be the best I could be. And in my head, it was, if I'm going to go on it at some point, why the fuck not just start now? Like, what's the issue? But I also know that I wanted to keep my femininity and blah, blah, blah. So the things that I have taken have been a very small dosage for a very short amount of time. Apart from my first prep, where I was on cycle for 12 weeks, purely based on the time of the difference from the first timer show to the British show. But it's not been, I've not been like on crazy drugs or anything like that. It's pretty much been Anavar, a very small dosage, and obviously fat burners as well.
Yeah.
So
it's like your standard Clen,
yeah.
T3, T4.
And
The
I've not
reason why I
had-
know, because every single morning Sania's like,
do you have any?
Reese, do you have any T3? And I'm like, yeah, but just enough for me. Like, I can kind of give you some, but you better give
I'll
it
do the
back.
half live.
Yeah.
But yeah,
what it is.
no. It's never been I never felt like I couldn't talk to you about me going on drugs. Never felt like you couldn't talk. You tell me every week what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very normal conversation for us.
Just leave it. So.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
I'll go again then. Finn, you got any warm-up shows in mind? MP? Yes.
That involved the
Are
table.
you not?
I thought you were involved with the table. That didn't involve any tables there.
So I was about to ask me a question.
Yeah. Are you not telling anyone what show you're doing?
X week's out tonight.
I've
come
told
on.
Next
Reese.
week. Okay.
And I've told Sam, because Sam's going to come
Yeah.
and film.
You excited
Oh, yeah.
for it? I think you look good in them, in those poses.
I wouldn't say I'm excited for it, but I think that's because I don't feel excited about it. I think at the minute I'm just focused on my clients more than me. I'm not even. I wouldn't say I forget that I'm competing, but I literally.
I bet you do.
Don't think that I'm competing. I'm just like, right.
You really don't.
Like, just focusing on people. Like, I'm literally not
I
thinking about me, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually this amount of weeks out like they are because I'm doing that show.
Yeah.
So it's just a bit like just going with the flow and making sure that I'm on track.
But that's good though because you're not focusing on yourself.
It's the one joy about being busy.
Yeah.
It's the one joy about being really busy. It's
really
why
help.
I find like we've said it before. There's coaches out there that like they end up going into preps or sacking it off, or they'll be like, I can't adhere. I'm just focusing on my clients. I think like focusing on your clients is awesome because it just keeps you grounded and routined. And I remember like I didn't think about myself till literally a week out, and I was like, I'm a week out.
Even then, you're messaging me about it anyway.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm a week out. Shit. But like, I'm so busy on, okay, I've got this person to sort out for this. I've got this person.
Days go quick.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you've got so much on. And then I'm like, oh, I'm actually close. I'd hate it if I had nothing on.
Yeah.
If I had nothing on, it'd be awful. Like, I had a client.
Gotta keep yourself busy.
Yeah, I had a client, Harley, last week, say to me on his check-in, oh, mate, when I prepped, all I did was like sit around, do nothing other than
watch bodybuilding videos,
and struggled. And like honestly, I'm surprised how you've maintained your quality of service. And I'm like, mate, I would go mad if I had nothing to do. Like being busy is wicked because it just means days go by. Like I've got to do this, got to do that.
Well, like perfect example. By the time that I've done like my morning cardio and like an hour's worth of steps, I've got back to all my messages from the night before. I've listened to all my check-ins, made all my notes, prepped Instagram posts. Like my WhatsApp's clear, and I'm like, right, cool, time to actually start the day. And that actually start the day is I've already done 35 minutes cardio and an hour's steps. So I've already, that doesn't even feel. I almost forget I'm doing it. Because I'm just cracking on with stuff.
I've got a question,
Go on then.
which all of us can answer. What do you learn most about yourself whilst in a prep? What is it that you've learned about yourself in a prep?
I don't know. I'd say
Shannon's salmon ruins meals.
What?
You said her fish ruined a meal once. Or
the
the blueberries.
Yeah, Shannon was eating. I was having salmon. Shannon was having blueberry whey. Stupid bitch. Stunk.
Yeah, he told her to move. Like sat next
she
to us,
had
like
blueberry whey.
And Finn was like, "Can you go sit over that? Fucking reeks. It's ruining my meal."
It was ruining my meal.
And she went downstairs.
No, she didn't.
Oh.
No, she didn't. She went and sat over
She
there.
went downstairs and cried.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't think there's anything
in
wrong
the
with
shower.
that. Because I didn't even say.
No,
I
you were
literally just was
having
like,
salmon blueberry muffins.
yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to eat salmon, and all I can smell is
But
blueberry
why don't
muffin
you
whey.
move if you're the one with the issue?
Because I'm the one prepping.
Yeah.
No, because I was sat on the sofa. Like, anyway.
But you're the one with the issue.
Anyway, I think you learn, like, I wouldn't say you learn it about yourself, but you do kind of, it's not even yourself. You kind of have to learn to adapt to a new you. Because you end up becoming a lot less energetic and stuff. Like, I had a client over the last few days, and I said to him, I was like, sorry, I'm not more energetic like I usually would be. Like, sorry, I'm not more myself. Like, he'd be asking me stuff, and I'd just be like, yeah, or no, or I'd be like, yeah, da-da-da. Like, I wouldn't be like asking him without even realising. Then after it, like, I'd say, oh, sorry, mate, I've been a bit like down today. I've been a bit like slow, and you kind of almost just have to learn to manage that. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't say anything else for me changes. Like, it's not as if I'm like, oh my god, I really struggle with cravings, or like, and I have to learn. Like, I learned that I really struggled with this. Like,
I'd say from my first show, I definitely learned I'm a major foodie. In the sense, for me, it's completely normal to be a foodie because I lived or grew up in a family where we're all foodies. We all love food, and to me, I'd never been taken away from that. So that when it was taken away, I was like, shit, like I really like, even though it's normal because you get food taken away, I really enjoy food. I really enjoy trying new things. I really enjoy having that variety, and it kind of was like I didn't realise I was as much as a foodie, even in the off season, as I was. I learned that about myself.
Yeah, I'd say it sounds cringy, but I actually felt quite human towards the end of the prep this time. I actually had a lot of emotion and a lot of feels.
Yes.
Yeah, you turned very soft.
No, not like soft, just like, like I was...
he's soft
No,
now.
not soft, just like, I think, like normal.
You even asked me how I was on a message. That's soft for you.
No, I more mean
That
like,
is soft.
I'm very much just like, very robotic in everything I do, where it's
You've
just
never
like, this is the
felt-
process, this is what you got to do and just get it fucking done. And that would literally be it. And the first time I think in my entire
That's
life,
human.
my subconscious was telling me something that my head, like usually my head's just like, do this, and it's sound. But my subconscious was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it was like battling. And I've never had that sort of battle.
I remember
Usually-
telling you, like, oh, by the way, like, what you're describing me is what most people feel almost every day.
Yeah. And I've
And
never
you've
felt that.
never-
'Cause
yeah.
in any
I didn't have to
situation,
deal with it. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to
in
do.
any situation, in a prep, in a gaining phase, I'm like, I don't struggle because it's like, this is what you got to do and you got to do it. Get it
Your
done.
head was like,
But my head was so skewed.
Yeah.
I was like, and I could tell, like, I was saying stuff, and I was like, "This is not me. What are you doing? Why
but
are
it
you
is
saying
you.
this?"
That's the thing. You've just
Yeah.
been
It's
able.
the chimp in your brain, mate. It
Yeah.
is.
So
The
that's
chimp
one
paradox.
thing. That's one thing I learned in the sense of like,
It's
I am
good,
actually
though.
human
Yeah, it
because
is
I've always
good.
been very robotic in every
I'm
situation.
like that. But like
Yeah.
people who
You
do
have
struggle.
emotion though. I feel like you do have more. I've always like looked at you two together, and you are more. I'd say more. You've got more empathy to certain people that are around you. You've got more kind of like. You do little things like for Shannon, and you've got a little bit more of emotion in that kind of way. Where the
Yeah,
Reese
I think
is very
you're getting
much.
that a bit more. Like
100%. But in the sense like there's never usually much empathy. He'll tell you how it is. He'll tell you his thoughts, and he'll be there. But it was like now I feel like he's got more empathy for people because he's like, oh shit, now I know how that feels, and I know what I needed from from you, Sania.
Yeah,
Now
like-
I know what to give you when you need it because I knew I needed it.
Yeah, like when you were telling me in between the first show, like, and the last show of your first prep, I don't know if I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna be able to carry on.
You were like,
I was like, what the fuck you on about?
yeah,
And like, I literally like, I can completely understand why people sack off preps.
yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, I can get that.
Mm.
I do understand. Like, I completely
Your head's
understand.
here, but you're
Yeah,
something
exactly.
else,
Like,
Okay.
that's and beforehand I never understood that. I would always be like,
you're black and white.
Yeah,
there was no
black-
grey.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Cameron Mooney Fitness. Who out of you three could chomp down the most burgers? Actually says the most burgers. The most burgers.
Probably Reese,
I'd say
I'd
me
say.
in a gaining phase.
No, I would just say
Yeah.
you
Shit ton of
generally.
insulin.
Yeah, loads of insulin, super
Yeah,
droll.
see, I can't because I'm natty, so it's not fair.
I don't.
I've never really seen you eat like.
No, I've never
in
seen
a
you
game.
eat
Yeah, like
loads in the sense of like a
You
lot.
don't see
of
how
fatty
soft
food.
I got.
Oh yeah, we did.
my food's been the highest.
But I'd say you can just nail. You
Yeah.
can just nail it.
Yeah.
I'd say. I would be the
Well,
worst.
Do you reckon? Do you back yourself as a big eater? Like if you're in
Could you do a 10K challenge?
Depends where I am. Like if I'm peak off season, no. If it's post show, then yeah.
anybody could.
Well,
Yeah.
Exactly. This one I'm just going to ask this one because it's there. Is there anything you both? So this is for you two. It's not for me.
Okay.
You both haven't tried in bed. You'd like to try.
You're very vanilla, in the sense like you're very like it's very frequent. We've like
Just like pegging
just-
and that's it.
it's very
keep it
like there's
simple.
there's no real try. No, not pegging.
Lovely.
There's not really like
She's basically asking
I
you
like-
to be a bit more
I-
adventurous.
no.
you're simple.
I like
You're
what I
simple.
like, and you get on
Yeah.
well with it, and it's very good.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's room to try new things. Nothing crazy, but
Yeah.
you're just not really that
Tie
into
him up.
it.
No, I'm just not that like. I'm pretty basic in the sense of like I like her ass. That's
Yeah.
it, and I like.
That's
Sania.
it. Yeah, that's
No,
it.
no,
Just
but
don't
I'm
wanna
not
look at her
like.
face.
No, like. Are you okay? So for
I'm not
example,
into crazy
lingerie.
stuff.
You know, if Shannon came out in like some real nice lingerie, were you like, oh yeah, that's nice?
Well, yeah, but
Really?
well, what would you do? Go,
Reese,
oh,
Reese,
I
no,
could not care. I could not care.
no. Reese is like, take it off, and I'm like, I've just spent 50 quid on this. Can you not appreciate it a little?
I'm
Like, there's. I would definitely say,
that's why you get the crotchless ones.
conscious.
You do.
I definitely say it's very
a
much
lot
to
easier
the
then, you don't have
point.
to worry.
It's to the point. I definitely think a bit of foreplay can't hurt.
Yeah.
On both sides, to be fair.
So you just like bang straight in.
No.
No. There's like a little bit of like kissing and bits and bobs. But it like it's very like it's great. It's really great.
Thing
But what I'm
is,
trying to say, we
when
could
you've-
definitely do like 2 steps more than what we do. You know? Just try a little bit. Just try something.
This is definitely going to go somewhere. In it. Like you're gonna have a conversation about this after.
I
But
think so.
I'm very happy with where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind
So we say very happy. Very happy where we're at when everything works.
when everything works.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wouldn't shy away if Reese said, do you want to try this? I'd 100% go, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And if I was to say, do you want to try this? You go,
Yeah, I'm good.
not fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't. Yeah,
I think I'd be the same.
Yeah, I'm fine.
But it wouldn't be crazy. If I'm not talking like
Some of the
a
stuff
sex swing.
some of the stuff you suggested, I'm a bit like we could, but like why? Like just a waste of time.
It's
Like-
just, I think it's just a bit of fun
Yeah.
for me. Like it's not always about the sex for me.
Yeah.
It's about
See, I almost find like
sex isn't
like you
just
say,
sex to
like
me.
I think it is. You know what I mean? It's almost, like you say. It's
Yeah.
almost like we know where this is gonna go.
Yeah. So like why waste?
We know
you
what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So like, what are you doing up
feel like
there
for
in
the
that
female,
swing, or
though-
what are you doing? Like, why are we
It's
doing
like
this?
you got.
bit?
That's such a man thing though.
You've got
'cause
like I don't know. You got a Pepsi Max in the fridge. You'd be like, I'm just gonna drive and go get a Pepsi Max from the
Yeah,
shop. It's
I've
like,
already got
well,
one there.
no, that's such a male thing because you've got to remember for females.
Sometimes the drive to the shop's nice.
yeah, sometimes
No,
yeah. Sometimes
no.
the drive to the shop's
Yeah.
everything.
No, but honestly, like it is
I want
like
a
the
Pepsi
drive
Max.
to the shop is nice because you've got to remember some females, like it takes a lot
They
more.
just like the drive.
It's not just a bang and come
Yeah.
for females. Like sometimes you need that
The drive.
extra mile.
Yeah,
you
the
need
drive.
the
A
drive.
A few miles sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you never get to the destination.
Yeah, sometimes you don't.
Most women don't.
Yeah, most of the time you don't get to the destination. But
But
for us,
But
it's
for
Yeah.
you always get there.
Huh?
And it's not fair.
Reese, I hate it. Sort it out.
I'm gonna break up with you.
Please sort it out.
Right.
I've got a question. Reese, I don't know if you have any, but it would be quite a cool question to see the comparison between the two. How much has it cost you in total for this prep?
Yeah, I got
Men
access.
and women. Well, it doesn't say men and women there, but this involves
They
all
and
of
them.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
They, there, and then.
Yeah, I don't know the exact figures, but a fair amount. It's objectively, it depends really, because for example, enhanced bodybuilding, if you do it the correct way, it is
spending
expensive,
a
but
lot
you
of money.
can do it in a cheaper way, but it's probably not going to be too good for your health relative to what you actually
Or if
could
you're
be
a
doing.
first-time bodybuilder, you're probably not gonna be.
Yeah, full blown. Like you could
Yeah,
probably
you're
just
not
get
gonna-
away with like
yeah.
test Nanavar and you'd be sound.
Yeah.
Where if you're multiple cycles and years deep, it's probably going to be more expensive. So from a ped standpoint, pretty expensive for like what it was for me. Not stupidly expensive, but enough to the point where I was like, okay, this actually costed me an alright amount of money if I was to add it up. But then at the same time, from a female, like I was saying,
Yeah,
like
we've got
bikini, makeup,
Bikinis,
God.
heels,
What more, innit?
makeup.
Yeah,
And then for men, it's trunks and a haircut if they want to get a haircut. But for women, it's getting your hair done, getting your nails done, getting your makeup done, getting your tan done, buying the bikini that can cost up to 400 quid. It's the heels. It's if you were to
Jewellery.
compare jewellery, yeah. If you were to compare it to an enhanced bodybuilder, it's probably racking up the same amount of money.
yeah.
What would you say? So for both of you, let's imagine you were like peak off season versus prep. How much more per week or per month do you think you're spending?
Oh, I'd say more in a prep purely based
Yeah, but
off
how much more? That's what I'm saying.
like probably about 40% more, purely based off the fact vegetables are expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Vegetables are very expensive. You
Amount of day
try and
passes I bought
find
at Pure Gym,
yeah,
cardio, Jesus.
you try and find things to do, so you spend more. You try and new things. Like you only get the expensive stuff because they taste nice. In an off season, I could get the shittest ketchup that's low fat, low salt, not give a fuck. But in a prep, if it's not Heinz, I don't want it. So I feel like even though I spend more on certain foods, I bulk buy more because I can. But with prep, you have to buy green beans every day. And all
So
that
how
kind
much
of
do you
stuff.
think? Both
What,
of you.
spend a month?
An actual amount. How much more per month or per week do you think you
On
spend
shopping or just in
on
general?
everything? So like for me, for example, the whole food thing. Yeah, you're probably right. Like I probably spend it.
Like 30 quid
I
more.
probably
surely.
don't at the minute, to be honest, because my food was high in the off season, so
Yeah,
I was eating a
mine
lot. So I'd probably say food wise and stuff is actually the same. So for me, it'd be looking at getting trunks, and then for now at the minute, that is literally it. I've bought my trunks,
Yeah.
and otherwise registration for shows that I've done. So like for me, realistically, let's say across the prep compared
across the
to
prep.
compared to an off season, I might already. This is only already. I might have spent an extra few hundred quid.
So with my international...
But if you think about the whole thing, like by the time I'm done, it'd probably be, compared to an off season of what I wouldn't have done with the prep, I'd have probably spent a good couple of grand, maybe more, if you're looking at food, even like posing practice, a coach, etc. Like,
I think with the international show, I was in prep for 6 months, and I'd probably say I spent probably 500 quid more each month.
so like an extra £3,000.
Yeah, maybe even
I think
more
that's
than
normal.
That.
Like,
Yeah, I'd say mine's
because
similar.
photos, like videos that they get you to spend out, registration for the Amateur Olympia for one category was £300.
so I think if you do it on the cheap, you could probably say for a prep, let's say you do one show, and let's say you do it on the cheap, stuff like that. I'd say you could probably do it for
an extra 50, maybe 60 quid.
That's a bit more than
If
that.
you're already
thinking
paying
registration
for a coach.
and everything.
No, but you think 125 for rent a bikini. You can buy your earrings from literally New Look that cost you a £5. You like if you do it purely on a
everything.
budget.
Yeah, I think if you do
I'd
it
say maybe
even
like just under 100 quid per month if you're doing a 6 month prep. I feel like that's very manageable.
Yeah.
But it's very like you have to be cheaping out like serious.
If you want to do it really cheap, you could probably do a whole prep on maybe 500 quid more than you'd spend on an off season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not
I'd say like
total.
a grand total, £1,250 you could do a prep on. You still need a lot of money. You still need disposable income.
But again, if you're thinking about it in comparison to what you'd be doing if you weren't prepping, it's probably not going to be. If you're eating pretty well in an off season, if you've already got a coach, if you already look after yourself, like it's probably not a huge amount. Yeah, exactly. If you're going out once a week, that you don't then do, let's say for off-plan meals or nights out or whatever, like it can at times cancel itself out.
I'd say 100 quid if you're cheap.
Non-alcoholic still expensive.
Yeah, non-alcoholic. Right. I'd say that's probably my questions done for the table.
How satisfied are you currently in your relationship?
Extremely satisfied,
Very
I'd say.
satisfied.
Yeah. Proud, but proud. No, proud. What's the?
Because she has
never
blueberry
satisfied.
way.
Yeah.
Blueberry muffin way. No,
Proud,
I'd say.
but never satisfied.
You are?
Proud but never satisfied.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Very
Christine Guzman.
It's one of those, and it's like you're happy, but if someone else better comes along.
Yeah, of course. That's why I got Tinder's just rolling in the background. You never know.
Yeah, we found you on Bumble. We did.
Yeah.
Bumble, isn't that the
yeah,
game?
like-
Reese was on Bumble.
Like 18 months ago. It was still running for some reason.
I thought that was the homosexual.
No, that's
No.
Grindr.
Of course you
You're
know.
Yeah, of course. I'm on Grindr.
That's how we met.
That's how we met. God. That's why she hasn't found me on it.
Yeah.
Some of the guys.
Have we got any more for the table? Because the rest of the ones we can answer.
Yeah.
I've got one here. Red flags in a relationship.
My red flag would be no ambition to want to succeed in life. Serious red flag.
That's a good thing. That I don't have any ambition. I hate my life. I don't do anything. I just sit around and lounge in bed all day. Pretend to work. Go back to bed. Take a photo of my laptop.
And that's
back
it.
to bed.
The same check-in video that you did last week.
Same check-in
Just
video.
change the name at the
Yeah.
top. It's easy.
Yeah. Ambition for me. And lack of cleanliness. I'm not saying that Reese has that, but I'm saying...
No, I'm saying he does.
With his hair stuff on his hands.
Yeah, that's it.
But that's not... But he's generally quite clean.
Very clean.
Not tidy, but clean, hygienic.
Sound.
Just not tidy, I just want to mention.
Well, or clean.
Right.
He's a clean individual.
Yeah, I sound.
You wouldn't go up to him and go, oh, you stink.
No.
No.
I don't know, sometimes, like, training-wise.
Yeah, but everyone's like that, though.
I don't train very hard.
Yeah, true. I try my train
You never sweat.
I don't really. Yeah.
No, you don't.
That's pretty much it. What have you all learned from each other?
That's a weird fact, actually. You know, we get asked, like, what's a weird thing that no one would know about me? Don't sweat. Ever.
You do a bit, though. It's not as if you don't sweat
yeah,
at
but
all.
Just
like,
weirdly don't sweat. I've just got a weird genetic
Mm.
disposition. Do not sweat. Driest skin ever.
Yeah, last one. What have you all learned from each other? You actually posted the other day that Sania's made you a much better person.
She has, yeah, she has in a lot of aspects.
I think you guys have definitely made me more self-sufficient. Both of you guys, I think, to be fair, in the sense where I used to care about a lot of people's opinions. I used to allow negative people in my life. I used to just be very needy, and I wouldn't need other people in my life to kind of get to somewhere I need to be. But I feel like with how both of you are, you've definitely made me more self-aware in the fact that it doesn't matter what other people are. You do what you've got to do. Don't give a fuck about what anyone else says, and crack on.
I think you've changed a lot since
You've
we met
changed
you,
a
whereas
lot,
it's probably... We obviously have, like, matured and, like, obviously progressed. But
I was 20 when I met you.
Yeah, but how old were we? I was probably only
22.
I was probably only 23. Like, but we still had that mindset back then.
Yeah.
I was
We haven't
in
really
uni
changed.
as well, wasn't I? Like, just
I
started uni.
technically was, but
Yeah.
I think I was already like at that point. Well, I've said this to you before. Like, my life was already pretty set in what I was
Yeah.
doing, and like where you've changed. Like, you've come from like here to like
Yeah.
there.
I had a
like,
very odd upbringing, and it caused me to rely on a lot of people. So I feel like my immaturity came from the fact that I was never really able to kind of blossom or grow wherever I was before you guys.
Yeah.
And then that's when I was
And then
able
we
to. And then
helped
you
blossom,
guys
yeah.
just helped me so much.
Just like any lesson. Any other
Coaching slots
listener.
available. Team Outfit.
No,
FK
but just how you
Physiques,
are. You make people realise, oh fucking hell, like in reality, who actually cares?
That's cool. That's a good ending point.
Well, no, mate, what have you learnt back from me? What have I learnt from you?
There would be loads of things if we properly thought. I'd say I feel like you've learned more from me. So I'm old and wise.
I don't know about that.
So wise.
I'm trying to think of
From
what
miniature
you would have
Buddha.
learned. I definitely think you've learned something to do like I'm not. You like Reese's style, I think, because recently you've bought
Copied everything.
Not
You
copied, but you've bought a lot
Yeah.
of like his good stuff. Because I feel like before
I
you
don't think
didn't
that's
really.
learning.
No. But I'm just saying, like you've got an almost like a fashion sense now. Whether before I don't think
No,
you had.
I think
much
I
of
had a
one.
fashion sense before. I just didn't waste money, and then I got to a point where I was like, I'm making too much money. I need to start wasting some.
I can't even think of anything that you guys would have learned from each other. What about training?
No. But we've learned off. I think we've learned off each other like everything. Like we're
Yeah.
the people we are off how we are. If me and Finn didn't know each other, I think we'd be massively different. And I think we've both blossomed and grown, and like we've got to where we have off how we are. So it's like
It's almost
it's
not
not
like
just like-
learning.
it's not one
almost
thing,
like
it's just like-
bouncing things off each other
Yeah.
and like constantly having that like healthy level of competition.
Yeah. In
Where
every aspect.
like
business.
if Reece was to
training.
tell me that like, I just didn't do my check-ins today, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Like, and I'd
exactly.
like take the piss out of him for days and be like, you're useless.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
so like we just set a
Or if you
standard
missed
for
a
each
meal,
other.
or if you like didn't do a cardio session, or
Yeah, like
and then
we
yeah.
just it's like setting a standard. I guess
We've
you
always
could
said
class
that.
that as learning, but
Yeah, no, we've always been.
and
like
there will be
setting
loads of stuff that
standards.
we've learned from each other. Like
It'll be so consumed into one as a whole.
I think I used to, like training wise, like if a set didn't go my way, I'd moan about it and stuff. And like,
I've
never
always
used
been
to.
more relaxed than
I
that,
never
yeah.
used to think that that was like an issue or that it wasn't the norm until Reece would be like, you wouldn't really say it. You'd almost just you'd moan at me for moaning,
Yeah,
and then I'd get to
I
a point where I'd
remember
be
Reece
like,
comes up to me, Finn, today.
Yeah.
Tonight.
but like that's the healthy conversation of like.
then I also think you matured a lot, not necessarily because of
Yeah.
me, but like potentially in terms of like us training together and stuff.
Yeah.
Like even when in lockdown, I think before lockdown when we trained together, like we were both a little bit immature, but I was obviously a couple of years older than
Yeah.
you. So like there'd be things that Reece would do that would just be like, I'd be a bit like, he's just a bit young.
Yeah.
But then when in lockdown, they were probably still a bit like that, but
Yeah.
I was probably quite mature by that point because I'd finished uni and everything by that point.
Yeah.
But then after the end of lockdown, like we'd both grown up and you were how you are now.
Yeah.
Like, but I think at the start of lockdown, you're probably a bit different.
Yeah,
and like
definitely.
lockdown, we both kind of both grew up to an extent. Everybody did. Obviously, it was 2 years, whatever. But I think you definitely changed a bit through that lockdown.
Oh, yeah,
probably
I was
based
a kid,
on.
I was a kid
like,
before. I was
yeah,
waking up at fucking like midday.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
You
Like,
were
that
like-
would never be
yeah.
the case now. So I tell Sania about how I was. This is actually quite funny. We never spoke about this. I told Sania how I was like during the first lockdown, like playing Call of Duty,
Yeah.
doing like my
I can't ever
like-
imagine him like
yeah,
See,
that.
whereas
waking
I,
up at
like-
like midday.
I got out of that from as soon as I went to uni because
Yeah.
I was working like multiple jobs and
Well, like
living on my own. So like as soon as I moved to uni at like 19, I stopped all that kind of like.
Yeah.
Whereas like you were
Boy
still doing
sort
that
of life,
until you
yeah.
were like what 20ish or whatever.
yeah. Well, I said to Sania like, oh yeah, I used to like go to bed at 3 a.m. and wake up at midday, and she'd be like, since
Can't
I've known
imagine
you,
it,
you get
but
up
yeah.
you get up at the exact same time. You're doing your cardio. You're going for your walks. You're eating your meals at the same
But if
time.
you think about it as well, like start of lockdown, Hubert was at yours.
Yeah.
You were playing games
That's
in
what I
the
mean.
night and stuff, and like I
Yeah.
think I never would say to you like what are you doing, but I think that probably did rub off on you because I remember saying like Shannon bought me a PS4 because all my mates were playing COD
Warzone,
during
yeah.
Warzone during lockdown.
Yeah.
I played it like twice, and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like they were up till
Yeah.
stupid o'clock. I was like, what? Literally, what am I doing with my life? I was like,
Yeah.
I've got stuff to be doing. I want to build my business. I was literally like just developing my online coaching
Yeah.
then. I was like, I'm not going to do this. Like, even though Shannon's bought me and it's a really nice gesture and it's nice to speak with my mates, I felt like I'd gone back like 5 years.
No. And
they were doing jokes that we'd have at school and stuff, and I was like, this is weird. I've grown up from that. Like, so I just like stopped it, and I was like, I'm not playing.
I'd be like playing games, and it'd be like, oh, I'll do one more, and I'd be like, yeah, sure. Then another one. Yeah. Now I couldn't imagine like if it's like.
You've even kind of stopped playing. I don't know if it's because of prep, but like even in your off season, literally last time, like you do play video games very often, but it's only for like an
45 minutes, an hour tops. At the end of the day, I'll just chill out. I'll put on like a game, and to be fair, it's more.
But I think that's really
difficult.
Yeah, I think that's healthy.
I literally haven't played for like, must be years.
Yeah. No, you just grow out of it, and then like you also get to a point where you think, what am I doing this?
I'd rather just put a program on with Shannon and chill than play a game. Like,
see, I'd rather that.
Yeah. So you grow up, and that's part of it. You grow up, guys.
Yeah.
That's life. That's life. That's life.
We'll just leave it there. Put that song on top.
Yeah, that's life. That one. Yeah. Right, that's it. Thanks, Sania.
Yeah,
thank you.
Fire questions.
Thanks for having me.
No, it's all good. What's your impression of the podcast? Did you enjoy yourself?
I did.
Would you come back on?
No, I feel like I
don't need to.
I don't need to come on
that's
anymore.
it. We'll get Sania
come on once.
You should get Beth
Limitless
on.
Flow was launched.
Beth, no, you'd have to be with her, I reckon, for Beth.
She just talk about football and she'll be
she'd
right
love
on
it.
Yeah, fantastic. But she's a fantastic listener. And she's
is.
definitely going to be listening to this.
Shout out to
And she religiously listens to you when I go on to the YouTube on the TV. It's always once you're in, literally the day it uploads. And she'll go, oh, did you hear this one? I'm like, I don't, unfortunately, guys, listen to your podcast.
Alright, Sam, don't release these. She doesn't listen.
Right, that's that. Thanks as always, guys. Thanks for story tags. Beth, give us a story tag if we don't get one from you. Serious
and please
issues.
tag me too.
Yeah, remember to tag Sania. Everyone tags Sania.
Make sure you like and subscribe as well, and all that stuff that I always say, and comment as well. We do get some comments. We get people like Macca, like Connor, Kerry, like Kez. People do comment. So yeah, thanks for the comments. But get more comments in. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us any guests that you want on as well.